Hi, everyone. Happy New Year to all of you. I pray that you have had a wonderful holiday season. Happy New Year to you and your families, all of you. And I also pray that you enjoyed your semester break, had some time to clear your head, maybe even went to a warmer climate and then came back to this crazy weather. As it is, as you can tell when I created this video, I think it was like 2 degrees or some craziness like that. So we're just praying for better weather. All right, so welcome to Business 203, Business Communication. And you'll notice, ladies and gentlemen, that we start and our entry point is always going to be announcements. So those of you who have not had Blackboard before, and I really doubt that that would be anybody in this class, unless of course you're from a different major outside of the department. That's always a possibility. So I welcome all of you to the college. Welcome back. For some of you, this may be your graduating semester. I look forward to working with all of you. I always enjoy teaching business communication. All right, our first class meeting is Thursday, January 31st at 11 a.m. We're meeting in the B building, room 515. You also have introductory assignments that are going to be due the night before, 11 p.m. Wednesday, January 30th. These are not hard. I'll go over them with you in a few minutes. All right, so please make sure you go through the CUNY policies, CUNY Hostos policies, Blackboard support, Hostos Blackboard support, the campus resources. All of this is important information. And what's nice about having an online course, whether it's hybrid or asynchronous, is that I don't have to go through all of these unless, of course, there's a problem, and then I might have to go through them or point out certain things that should be addressed by the class. But for the most part, since this is a 200 level class and some of you are ready to graduate, you pretty much know what to do. All right, so let's start with something easy. Instructor information. Who am I? Most of you who are Office Technology know who I am. I'm the coordinator for the Office Technology program. Office Technology is a unit in the business department. So there's business and accounting unit as well as the Office Technology unit, and I'm the coordinator. So here's a little personal information about me. You can also find some information on the ePortfolio that I think you should really enjoy seeing. And we're going to talk about ePortfolio when we meet in class to talk more about that. All right, so this is who I am. This is my picture. I did not create a video of myself because we're going to see each other on Thursday, January 31st. So I don't think and you already have the little picture of me. I think that's sufficient. If this were totally asynchronous, then I would have something a little different. All right, so what is this class all about? Business communication. You say to yourself, and it's writing intensive section. All right, make sure you understand. What do you think we're going to be doing in writing intensive? Every semester, I always get somebody or a group of students who would tell me there's too much writing in this class. Now, really? It's a business communication to begin with, and also writing intensive. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So what are we going to be doing in this class? So if you look at the course description, it's in your syllabus as well. Everything that's here online, all right, in course information is in your course syllabus. You're going to plan, write a variety of business letters, memos, emails, and reports for business audiences at the computer, revise and proofread business communication, develop speaking skills, and gather information reports through research and interviewing. The students will be required to make oral presentations and be made aware of the teamwork and the human relations aspect of communicating either in writing or orally. So you are going to be writing, you're going to be speaking, you're going to be doing a number of creative things that will improve your business professionalism. Course objectives, you could go through all of this as to what the objectives are, what you're going to be doing. You're going to work in teams and evaluate individual growth in teams. Social networking, develop effective verbal and nonverbal communication. Describe the differences in various communication designs and audiences. And you're going to write. And you're going to speak. And you're going to work in teams. Okay, because you're not going to be surprised the first day of class. Okay. Guidelines to professionalism. We're going to talk more about this in the classroom and in our class setting. You are professionals in training. This is how you conduct yourselves in the class in preparation for your training in the professional professional experiences. Now, I have students who are in dental hygiene, rad tech, or other programs, liberal arts. All of that is wonderful, but you're still a business student. You enrolled in a business class in the business department, and this is how we expect all of the students in the business department to conduct themselves as professionals in training. Wonderful. So we got that all straightened out. The next thing we're going to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, you are in a college. All right, so that means we're going to be doing we're looking at general education principles. Now, what in God's glorious name is Professor Sandy talking about? Simply means, ladies and gentlemen, that you will be expected to exercise critical thinking, global citizenship, communication, science, and math. Now, before you have a heart attack and say, I hate science, I hate math, or I love science and I love math, and I'm glad we're going to do all of that. No, we're not going to be doing math. We're going to be looking at quantitative reasoning, which means you're going to be interpreting graphs. You're going to be analyzing some business aspects that you do on an everyday basis, everyday environment. So you're not going to be, if you know how to add, you know how to subtract, you know how to read, then this is good for you. Okay, wonderful. And our rubrics that we're going to be focusing on for the semester, of course, is going to be writing and speaking, critical thinking, information literacy, oral communication, problem solving, and written communication. Excellent. So we can go through that. If you have questions, we'll talk about that in class, or you can discuss it later. Hybrid section, that means this class meets once a week. That doesn't mean that you sit down for the rest of the week. All of your assignments are going to be online. You will work in teams in class. We're going to talk about that in a minute. All right, so it's a hybrid section. We meet on Thursdays, every Thursday at 11 a.m., except, of course, the Thursday during spring break. We're not going to be physically in class. Learning styles. Look at how wonderful this is, ladies and gentlemen. All of you have a different learning style. Your learning style might be very different from the person sitting next to you. Now, what do I mean by a learning style? Well, think about it. How do you like to learn? Do you like to learn by reading instructions? Do you like to learn by working with other people? Do you like to learn visually as opposed to reading? Everyone's style is different. What's really neat about online teaching and learning is that you can use a variety. I can use a variety of learning style of methods to address as many learning styles as possible. Am I going to reach every person all the time? Of course not, ladies and gentlemen. Each of us is a human being, and we're only capable of doing so much. But to the best of my ability, within the confines of the technology that we have right now, this is how I'm going to try to address your learning styles needs. And what would be kind of cool for you if you have nothing else to do, sitting on the subway and it's boring, or sitting on the bus and everybody's screaming at each other, go through the overview of learning styles to see which one is your particular. And also there's a little quiz. It's not required. Just take a look at the quiz. You may be surprised at what you thought was your learning style might be something different. That's just something a little entertaining, all right, while you're learning. And in-class assignments, now this is what I want you to be aware of. The face-to-face class sessions will concentrate on course content via team building assignments, meaning, and you're going to see, you already see this, okay, here's teams, so I've already created teams for you. The teams are already posted in Teams and Blackboard. The face-to-face in-class assignments will count towards your final grade, therefore you are expected to attend every class. Now, I can threaten you with losing points. That's ridiculous. We're not in high school. You are sophomores. You're ready to graduate in taking this class. Most of you are ready to graduate or close to it. So I don't want to sit down and threaten you. You're far more sophisticated than that. The point that I'm making in creating teams is that you're going to have to work with other people when you go out. Some of you are working now, and you're already working in teams. You're a supervisor. You may be an assistant manager in a store. You may be doing a number of things, even at home. Those of you who may never have worked, you always say, I never worked, I don't have experience. Yes, you do, because at home, if you have children, you're working in teams. You're telling your children what needs to be done, and you sometimes use, instead of always telling them what to do, you sit down and chat with them and say, what do you think would work in this situation, particularly, obviously, if you have older children, 9, 10 and above, or 13, 14 and above. So just think of this, that you have always been working in teams. This is not anything new. What we're doing is focusing teams in a work environment, including those areas in the medical field, because you're going to tell me, I'm not in business, I'm in medical. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as there's an exchange of goods and services for money, or even as a nonprofit, that is still a business. You're giving something for something in return. That's business, all right, or one aspect of business, all right? So it's important for you to know that you breathe, ladies and gentlemen, and I give you credit for it. You choose not to breathe, then you're not going to get credit. You're also not going to be too long in this universe, but that's another issue. Okay? Writing intensive, I want to stress this again because you're going to tell me it's too much writing. Make sure you read through this, and I'm not going to read through this with you because you can all read. You also have the Writing Center. There's a video that talks about the Writing Center. Now, when I suggest that you go to the Writing Center, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not saying that you're dumb. I'm not saying that you can't speak English. I'm not saying any of that, or that you can't write, because all of you, regardless of the language, have been writing since you've been in the third or fourth grade. Whatever school, whatever country, you've been writing. So telling me you don't know how to write is ridiculous. You all know how to write your name. You all know how to fill out a form for the government. You know how to do everything. If you have children, you know how to fill out forms, send emails, and send letters to the principal or your teacher. You've been writing. So saying to me that you don't know how to write, what you're thinking about, what you're afraid of, is academic writing. And that's the whole point of being in a college, to learn how to write academically and learn how to write business reports. And also looking at your writing as in terms of improving your writing so it's clear, just like I have in the Blackboard banner. Clear, concise, correct, courteous, and complete. So we're going to discuss all of that when we meet in class. So that's the whole point of your writing, to improve what you already know, to make it better. All right? So the Writing Center, I'm asking you, some of you, this may be for our African students. African students know how to speak and write in about 3 or 4 languages. So English might be the 4th or the 3rd or the 5th. For some of us in this hemisphere, all right, in Latin American countries, you usually might be a 3rd language. Some of you know some Indian dialects. So you know a lot. Sitting down there telling me you don't know, what you might not be comfortable with is speaking in English or writing in English. Okay, that I'll give you credit for. The same thing, I cannot write in Spanish. I can write very simple sentences, but if you were to read my sentences or an essay in Spanish, you would be shocked to think that I have, 2 masters, because it's not the same. Obviously, when you read something that I've written in English, then you know that I've been schooled and I know what I'm talking about. So the Writing Center is to help you work with somebody to take a look at your writing so it could be more accurate. That's all. You want to go from a B to an A. You want to go from a C to a B. You want to go from a B to an A. I keep saying it again, from a B to an A. I expect everyone in this class to get an A. You will revise your work. Every assignment that you submit to me is a draft, a first-time draft. So don't roll out of bed and say, oh, it's only a draft and I'll give it to her. No, you're going to take your time to write, because I want to see what direction you're going and to improve so that you get an A. Some of you may have to revise 4 and 5 times. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you don't want to revise 4 and 5 times, then go in the Writing Center and make sure that they help you. But you are leaving this class knowing how to write complete sentences, knowing how to proofread, knowing how to edit, and knowing how to write in a professional manner in English. You all are going to do that. Okay? So good. We got that all straightened out. Okay? Go back to course information. And let's take a look at the syllabus. All right, make sure you read the syllabus. Okay, once you click in, all right, the syllabus is there. All of, as I said, what I've posted on Blackboard is already here in the syllabus. Okay, so that's pretty much what we have. Okay, go back to syllabus. Okay. These are the topics that we're going to be covering in the class, all right, so that you know exactly what we're going to do. We have introductory assignments. I'll go over that in a minute. We're going to start with chapter 4. We're going right into the pool, right into the water. planning business messages, organizing and writing, etc. So you see we start with chapter 4 and we end with chapter 3. Okay, you'll notice that you have a team midterm presentation. Obviously, if you're working in teams, you're going to have to do something besides in-class assignments. We have no classes during spring break. I think you can figure that one out. And you have a team final presentation. So we're going to talk about dates in a little while. All right? So, go back to course information. We talked about syllabus. And I didn't talk about submitting an assignment. Grading standards. Oh, this is what I want to talk about. Grading standards. Now, grading standards, ladies and gentlemen, take a look. There is no extra credit for this class, and you're going to ask me for it. Every semester, I always get a student, can I have extra credit? You have 15 weeks of work, real work. Look at what you have to do. Formal writing assignments, any portfolio, Women's History Month events, team writing assignments, in-class team writing assignments. We're at 40% of your grade. The team writing assignments, those are the in-class team writing assignments. You have an individual midterm presentation. You have a team final presentation. You have assignments. All of this adds up to 100%. So obviously, ladies and gentlemen, if I have taken the time to create these assignments in conjunction with a writing fellow, in conjunction with a QR fellow, a quantitative reasoning fellow, I've worked with others in teams to make sure that you have a solid, professional, business writing experience. Don't come and ask me to create a special assignment for you because you didn't want to do the other assignments. You know I'm not hearing that. I don't even want you to even breathe thinking about it. Now, the grades are based on percentages and not points. Blackboard has a point system. I'm not interested in the Blackboard point system. This is the grading system based on these percentages. And you're going to ask me, I got so-and-so points, which means I should get an A instead of an A minus. This is what I'm going by, the percentages. All right? There is no extra credit for this class, and there is no incomplete for this course either. Now, the only time that you can get an incomplete is if you won the lottery and you took us all out to dinner and you decided to go away and spend all your money and then come back. All right. The other time that more realistically, obviously, if something happens in your family or something happens to you and you have to leave, then you have to provide documentation. All right. Because there is no way I'm going to give an incomplete. If you're failing the class, don't even think about asking for an incomplete. You can ask. I'm telling you now the answer is no. All right, and I expect everyone in this class to get an A. Look at our grading system. We start with A and we go to F. F is for figure, not for failure. D is the fourth letter of my first name, Sandy. C's and B's I don't even want to hear about. The only grade I see is an A. A minus is a possibility only if you don't do 1 or 2 assignments. But an A is what I'm looking at. This is a college level class. Don't even think about an R. This is not a developmental class. Obviously, this is a 200 level college class. So I'm pretty sure I made myself clear because I am not going over this in class. That's why we're doing this video. All right? Because when we have class, when you come to class Thursday, January 31st, we will start right away with work. All right? So I'm not going through all of this. Okay, good, as long as you understand that. All right, now, oh, assignments. I forgot about the assignments. Sorry about that. Okay, this is very important. Of course, everything I'm telling you is important. In assignments, all assignments are due on the day and the time that I have listed in assignments in Blackboard. If you decide that you don't want to submit the assignment at 11 p.m. on February 4th, that is your prerogative. What is the result? You're going to get a 0 grade for the assignment. I am serious about this. This is a 200 level class. You are all ready to graduate. Some of you are going to go on to a senior college, Hunter, Baruch, John Jay, NYU, Harvard, wherever you're going. No one in the 21st century has time for all kinds of crying and tears and all kinds of nonsense. If you have a problem with an assignment, I'm going to show you where you can ask questions in a minute. But if you have something that's personal, come and talk to me before the assignment is due. Talking to me after the assignment is due is like murder on the Orient Express. I'm not hearing it because you had time to talk to me before. You have in the instructor information, you have my cell phone. You could text me. You could email me. You have my hostess email. You have my cell phone number. You can call me. I don't recommend it because I don't usually answer cell phones when I don't even bring my cell phone to the class unless there's an emergency with a family member, and that hardly ever happens. All right? So please, if you have a question about anything that's personal, all right, make sure you contact me before an assignment is due. Talking to me the day of the assignment, 1 hour, 1 minute beforehand, I'm not hearing it. Don't even talk to me after. All right, so please make sure you understand that. I am dead serious about this class because you are all professionals in training. And we can have a good time and enjoy each other. That's the whole point. All right, you make it tiresome. You make it work. I make this as enjoyable as I possibly can. Okay, for you. All right, so we got the grading standards and the assignments. Now let's take a look. Okay, submitting an assignment, you'll get a chance to understand what that is. There are 2 times that you're going to make a presentation: a team midterm presentation and a team final presentation. This is the dress requirement, and I'll show you the dress requirement. If you are not dressed, if you are dressed other than what's in the picture, you will get 1 point out of 5. No one in this room should even think about that. Men are to dress just this way, in a suit, in a tie. I don't want to see a sports jacket. I don't want to see khaki pants. I definitely don't want to see sneakers. I want to see men dressed in a suit. Navy blue, charcoal gray, black. Okay, you could wear a different color tie. I don't want to see a bow tie. I want to see a real tie, and I want to see a shirt made of material. I don't want to see sweaters. I don't want to see mock turtlenecks. I want to see a suit. Only twice do you have to wear a suit. Team midterm presentation, team final presentation. You'll see the dates in a little while. So 2 times out of the entire semester. And telling me you have a problem about the suit on the day of your presentation, I know you're not even thinking about it. You could think about it, but I know you know very well what my answer is. And if you don't have a suit, get a suit. You've got plenty of time between now and March to get a suit for the team midterm presentation. Plenty of time. We also have Dress for Success in career services. They have clothes that you could use. So there's no excuse for not looking professional, for dressing professionally. I'm not hearing it. Don't even think about it. Women, this is exactly how I expect you to dress. In a suit, a business suit. You don't see pants. You don't see these little ballerina slippers. I want to see shoes with a heel. I don't want to see boots. I don't want to know that it's 40 below zero. That's irrelevant to me. You are all going to be applying for $50,000 and $60,000 a year jobs, or not jobs, but positions. You have to act and dress accordingly. If you're looking for a job at McDonald's, then walking around naked, nobody cares. But you are looking at for $50,000 and $60,000 a year positions. This is how I expected you're going to dress. All right? Exactly. Anyone who dresses other than this, you're only going to get 1 point. You can argue with me all you want. I don't want to see jeans. I don't want to see any of this. You are all professionals in training. This is now, today is January 21st. You're probably not going to see this until January tonight. Some of you will, and maybe tomorrow or the middle of the week. You have plenty of time between now and March to get yourself together. Again, funding, you have problems buying something that looks halfway decent. Career Services has all kinds of clothes made available to you. So I expect you to act and dress accordingly. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, and let's go on to course information, the conclusion. Attendance policy. Obviously, ladies and gentlemen, this is a hybrid class. We work in teams in class. Those in-class assignments count. If you miss an in-class assignment, all right, if you miss it, for whatever reason, you're still going to get a 0 because you weren't here for it. Showing me a doctor's note, showing me that you won the lottery and you had to go down, showing me that you are going to be naturalized. All of that is wonderful news, but you're not here. And so you're going to get the 0 for not having the assignment. Now remember, we meet 15 weeks. So missing 1 or 2 in-class assignments because of naturalization or being sworn in as a citizen, which is wonderful, and congratulations, or you have a doctor's appointment, the women are pregnant, or you're going to deliver, all of those are wonderful things. But obviously, ladies and gentlemen, you can't be in class. So if you miss 2 or 3 of those assignments and you get 0, it does not affect your grade. What will affect your grade if you miss 6 and 7 of them and tell me some nonsense that I don't want to hear. All right? And by nonsense, I'm talking about I forgot, I overslept, the train was late, the bus was late. And some of you live across the street from the college, so you know I'm not hearing that. All right? I'm not interested in lateness. I'm not interested in the fact that you overslept at 11 o'clock class. Some of you work nights. Some of you work and go straight to the college. I'm sensitive to that. So we could talk about this, but the bottom line is, if you're not here for an in-class assignment, team assignment, then you get 0 for it. I want that to sink in. All right, and guidelines for sending email. You know how to send email. It's not, make sure that you send professional emails. No yo, no small i's. Okay, we're going to talk more about sending correct emails and texts as well in our professional development. Okay, wonderful. What's our textbook? The textbook is the 9th edition. Now you're saying to yourself, well, I bought the 8th edition, or I could get it, the 8th edition for free. I'm glad. I have no problem with that, as long, because the pages are going to be different. So I don't want you to say in class, I don't have that page. No, because you have a different edition. So make sure that when you're in class and you have the 8th edition, that you find the page that we're working on. All right, so that's very important. Again, some of you make copies of the textbook. That to me is far more expensive than renting the textbook or downloading the textbook, but whatever. You must have the textbook in class. You must, because we will be doing assignments. You could even copy, not copy, what's the word? Not make copies. Take pictures, that's what I'm trying to say. Take pictures of the textbook. All right, the chapters if you want to do that, because it's not only coming to class to do the assignment, but reading the assignments, reading the chapter, because I am not going over every aspect of the chapters. So there are things in the chapters that you should be aware of. And so maybe taking pictures or photographs of the chapters, I have no problem with that. I also provide PowerPoint. All right, so there are many ways of learning the material. But make sure you have something that looks like a textbook in class beginning Thursday, January the 31st, if at all possible. All right, but definitely by February 6th. Definitely. Okay, wonderful. So this is what our textbook is. All right, so let's go into teams. Now notice I have you in teams. So team 1, click in. And you'll see all of the group members of your team. And each team has collaborate. I'm going to talk more about that when we get into the class. File exchange, group discussion board, group wiki, and group, and you can send an email. And a group assignments only to your team. This is not the entire class. Okay? So you do not see, what you will see. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. What you will see is your team. Obviously, I am the one who's created the teams for you. This is the faculty, the instructor page. So you will see either team 1, team 2, or team 3, or team 4, or team 5. You will not see all 5 teams. So whatever team that you see, that's the team that you're in. The first day of class on January 31st, you're going to sit with your team. So try and remember. But not to worry. I'll have an attendance sheet with the team number so that you can remember. All right? But it's very important that you understand from the first day of class, you'll be sitting with your team for the entire 15 weeks. There is no change in the teams. The teams are who they are. You don't like each other? Well, that's a problem, isn't it? How many of us, when we're working with other people, like each other? We don't have a choice of liking people. We do the work. That's what we're getting paid for, not to like each other. All right? Discussion board before I go into assignments. I want to go over this one, the Q&A forum. This is a forum that if you have any questions at all about the homework assignments, any of the assignments in class, this is not anything that's personal. Anybody in the class can answer your question. If you feel more comfortable talking to your teammates, then there's a group discussion board. So you can ask the question there. Doesn't matter. The point that I'm making is that I am not the sole authority in the class. Other people also know the answers. Some of you work at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm not up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so you may need to have an answer right away. So please make sure that you post your question because somebody is up at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. All right, good. And let's now go to assignments. All right, the attendance part, of course, is not yours. That's for me. So our introductory, let's start with the introductory assignments. What do you have to do? First thing you do, buy the textbook as quickly as possible. Here's the link for buying the textbook, downloading the textbook, renting the textbook, whatever. The Are You Ready? All of this has to be submitted by 11 p.m. Wednesday, January 30th. Now, some of you have done an Are You Ready last semester. I don't want you to redo it. Just submit the certificate. It is the certificate that I want to see. Some of you have no idea what I'm talking about, so that's why you're going to go to the link and go in there. The Are You Ready is to help you, those of you who have no idea of how to do Blackboard. And for the business department, that should not be anybody. For folks who are in liberal arts, dental hygiene, rad tech, or any of the other programs outside of business, you will probably need to go to Are You Ready? You may not know all the features of Blackboard. But the people in the business department, if you have already done Are You Ready last semester, fall 2018, just submit the certificate. If you did the Are You Ready in 2016, 2017, spring of 2018, no, I don't want that because some new things have been added. So if you've done Are You Ready in fall of 2018, resubmit the certificate. If you have not done anything before, if you have not done fall 2018 and the last time you did it was 2 or 3 years ago, you definitely need to do the Are You Ready and submit the certificate. Everybody knows what a certificate looks like. So when you see that congratulations, you are enrolled, that's not a certificate. If you see that you completed the tutorials but you didn't get the grade that's for the tutorial, that's not a certificate. A certificate is a certificate. That is what I want to see. Don't show me anything else. If you have problems with the Are You Ready, then I'll tell you what room to go with C559, and the text over there will help you. But I want to see a certificate. Don't show me anything else except the certificate. Tell me that you have a problem, and I'll tell you, again, to go to C559. But I only want to see a certificate. And make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that you do all 6 of the tutorials and pass all 6 of the tutorials. That's extremely important. And submitting an assignment, which is the certificate, since you already know how to do Are You Ready, this just gives you further explanation and reinforces what you've already learned. All right, the third part of the introductory assignment is to go into the discussion board, click in the discussion board, and you will see introduce yourself, and it's got to be a video. Now, when you create the video, you'll see I'm only asking you, what's your name, what's your major, why did you choose this course, why did you come to this class, and all of this other stuff. Very simple. You'll upload it by 11 p.m. Wednesday, January 30th. Okay? So all of you know how to take pictures on your cell phone or a digital camera. All of you know how to create a video on your cell phone and your digital camera. And you all know how to upload to Blackboard or to YouTube or whatever it is. So you already know this. So sitting down there saying, I don't know how to do this. If you know how to go half naked on the internet and show pictures of yourself to everybody, you certainly do know how to upload a video. When you create the video of yourself, make sure that it looks that you're dressed somewhat professionally. You don't have to wear a tie. You don't have to wear a suit. But it would be nice to have the men wear a shirt and the women wear a blouse. No turtlenecks. And make sure that if you're doing your video at home, at your home computer or wherever you're doing it, please make sure that the background is neutral, that you don't have pictures all over the place, or that your dog isn't barking and all of this other stuff. Try to make it as quiet, and definitely you're not creating the video in the bathroom. Because one student did a video, it looked like it was in the bathroom, wall tile and everything like that. You may want somebody to take a video, to create the video of you while you're talking. That's all fine, all right? But I had a couple of students who did their videos in pajamas, and your video is going into your e-portfolio for other people to see. So please make sure that the women, if you can wear a blouse, an attractive looking blouse, remember it's only from your waist up, unless of course you want a full body, then you're going to dress a little more formally. But you don't need to dress in a suit, you don't need to wear a tie, you just need to look a little more presentable. All right? And making sure that you look into the camera, talk to the camera. I'm teaching you how to do this professionally because you may have to go on an interview virtually. You may have to use Skype. You may have to use some type of video to create, to be able to complete an interview. You may not always be face to face. All right, so I'm teaching you how to do all of this. The other discussion board, and these are both worth 10 points. Writing or working with numbers, I just want your opinion, and make sure you respond to somebody else. Which you know to be writing intensive. You will also interpret graphs, charts, and tables. Please share with your peers in this class your feelings about writing and your feelings about working with numbers. Which of the two do you find easier, or do you find them both difficult? Okay. Again, what is difficult about this? I didn't ask you to read from the textbook. I didn't ask you to do any of that. All right. Introducing yourself. All of this is what you need to do. Okay. Looking at assignments again, we're still on introductory assignment. Okay, the last introductory assignment, part 4, is to create an avatar. Most of you have an avatar because you've done this for other classes. What's an avatar? See my little picture up there? That's an avatar. That means whenever you or I go onto Blackboard, this picture follows us. Now, before you say, I don't want to show a picture of myself, wonderful. Then show a representative of who you are. Flower, the flag of your country, whatever makes you happy. Something that identifies you, that will help me to identify who you are if you're not comfortable with a picture. Pictures are much easier and much better, but whatever your heart desires. I want to see an avatar from everybody. All of these introductory assignments are due by 11 p.m. January 30th. And again, the only assignment that is going to give you more, is going to take more time, would be the Are You Ready? Everything else you can already do. All right? Any questions? Make sure you put on the Q&A discussion board. Okay, this forum. Any question about the assignments, the introductory assignments? Okay, anything that's personal, please do not put it on the discussion board. Anything personal about yourself, or anything that you do not want to share with the class, do not put it here. Send me a text. And I stress texting because I need a written record. Now you're going to say, well, that's because you're old. That's true. I'm not saying no, but it helps me to make sure that I responded to you. Okay, and let's go back to assignments so that you can see when your midterm and all of these other things are. I have a lot of announcements over here to remind you. Sometimes many of us don't look at the academic calendar. All right, I'll go over those later on. Your team midterm written report, PowerPoint, and presentation are due March the 21st. Plenty of time to get a suit. All right. April 1st is the last day to withdraw from a course. You're not withdrawing from this class, just in case you want to withdraw from another class. Spring break for this class is April the 25th, so that there are no classes. The college is open, all right, but we will not meet. And your last, the final report, PowerPoint, and presentation are due May 9th, okay? You have plenty of time. You can wear the same suit. I don't care, all right? I care that you look professional. I care that you realize that you are looking to secure a $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year position, and you're going to dress the part. Ladies and gentlemen, I look forward to working with you. If there are any questions, as I said, Q&A or text me. Thanks, enjoy, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye, or even before that to see your videos. Bye-bye.